Was sport always a very big part of your life because of your dad or in general?
I think it was definitely influenced by my dad because in some way when I was very young, I felt like I had to carry the legacy of sport forward in the family. I don't know why I felt that pressure. Nobody put it on me, but I just thought so.
Just by yourself?
Just by myself. And I think I really enjoyed seeing how independent he was, how fit he was, how mentally fit he was. And I said, I want to be some version of that. And having said that, I think I also failed miserably at it because I just couldn't take the pressure of being his daughter.
I'm going to make you talk to my son at some
Oh my
point for
God.
this.
Okay.
For this entire conversation that you're having with me.
Really? But is he feeling it as well?
I think so. I don't know if he feels the pressure yet because he's still young. But this exact thing,
Yeah.
I feel he will feel.
Yeah.
He will feel this thing of like,
Yeah, I
unless
think
he's number
by
one
the
in the
time-
world, he'll be a failure.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
And you came from that kind of legacy as well.
Yeah, I came from that and I was just like, I'm not used to this. And I thought I would be, they'd let me go because I'm playing a different sport. But when I went on there, it was like, you're just not as good as your father. I have to say that until I could articulate how that felt, I just kept going. I just kept going and said, let's just keep trying and one day it'll get better. And I remember there was one game that my dad came to and it was some state level match and I lost so badly and I was a sore loser. But I have to say, Sanya, that I think tennis taught me more about life than anything else has because I think it made me one, I think that all the anger, aggression, frustration are now put into other areas in a very productive way in my work. I'm a solo founder, so I know exactly how to talk myself into and out of a situation. And all that is thanks to all the tennis I played.
Yeah, because sport does teach you how to be resilient, right? That's the whole thing. It teaches you to be humble when you win.
Yeah.
And it teaches you how to take defeat and come back and fight another day. And that's what sport does.
Yeah.
And when you say that I failed, I just want to tell you that, and coming from somebody who has succeeded at sport,
Yeah.
is actually mostly played by people who have failed. Sport is not usually played. I mean, how many successful tennis
that's
players will
true.
there be in a country?
That's
right?
true.
Most sport is played in clubs and most sport is played in like just to play, to have
Exactly,
activity.
it's recreation.
So I feel the essence of sport loses it because becoming professional isn't the
End goal.
end goal.
Yeah.
And I think that's what people have to understand about sport.
Yeah.
Because it gives you all this, what you're talking about.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So
It's
even
the greatest
though,
gift.
so I don't think you failed.
Yeah, I won
That's
at
the
some,
thing. You won something.
in some
and
area
that's
of
what
my
sport
life.
does.
Yeah.
And this is coming from someone who has had success in sport. I can tell you that's not the end goal.
But I have to say, when I saw you just keep going at it and winning, I felt like a personal win because I said that, this is how you really go out there and make a success story out of something. And I think you continue to do more and more even for the sport today, even though you're not really playing. But yeah, I think seeing a woman do well in sport, especially in India, is special.
From sport, you tried to sing.
Oh yeah,
and
I
you
forgot
tried to
about
dance,
that.
and you did dance quite well. And you did some background dancing, and you were part of IFA, and you were part of Filmfare. Like, was it just because you were Neena Ji's daughter, or because you were exposed to so much of like Bollywood, or?
No, I think I just wanted to be Beyonce. I was like, I'm half black. I have to be Beyonce, Either I'm Serena Williams, I couldn't do that.
Or you're Beyonce.
So I have to be Beyonce, so something. But no, I was a big Beyonce fan. And I must tell you how I discovered that my mother discovered I could sing because I used to laugh very loudly at a very high pitch in the house. So she said, तुम्हारा तो सुर बहुत ऊपर पकड़ेगा, तो तुम singing try करो. So I started training and I remember I also tried to be a VJ in the middle, by the way. I auditioned for MTV and I did not get the gig. But I remember one of my audition pieces was to sing. And I sung an Alicia Keys song, which was so high pitched that I swear, I think that whole office was like, please do not hire. Yeah, that happened. And then I said, okay, if I'm singing, I have to know how to dance. So then I joined Shamak Davar's troupe.
Which one were you better at, dancing or singing?
I was a better dancer. I think just genetically I was a better.
I think.
Yeah,
the half of you has taken care of that as soon as you were born.
It was taken care of. So I was a better dancer. But yeah, I think I loved that life with Shamak. You know, you used to just like train all day and then you went and did some performance in the back somewhere. Nobody cares who you are or whatever. It was lovely.
So it feels like you've done a lot of things before you finally found what you wanted to be and what you wanted to do, which is today, obviously. But you started that search at a very young age. Why was it so important as a young woman, as from the background that you had, to find something that you were very, very good at, right? Like you played sport, you danced, you sang. I mean, you did so many things, right? Like and then finally you became a designer, and then now makeup.
You know, you're right. I think between 17 and 19 is when a lot of self-discovery happened for me. And I was just like trying things. But I feel like I was also, one, I had a very, very honest household. So if I was bad at something,
You were told.
I was told. If I messed up, I was told. I was put in the doghouse. There was never getting away with bad behavior. There was never getting away with like being a sore loser. I was talked through every situation, and I feel that's why today I'm very, very critical of myself. I have the ability to not be delusional, which I think is
No, it's so
rare.
important to be in touch with reality.
Absolutely.
And I think that comes from our parents.
It comes from our parents, yeah. Because you can't be like the sun shines out of your backside for everything.
For everything.
Yeah, it's not normal.